15. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Charlie Hackett, chief of police of Kokomo, Indiana, tells this story about dumb criminals determined to live high on the hog. Someone called in a complaint about some rustling going on out in the country. My partner and I were working organized crime at the time, but we were the only ones on duty, so we had to go. We found that this farmer had been losing big time. 25 or 30 hogs in all, but not all at once. Those pigs had been disappearing one at a time, one a night, and each time the rustlers had managed to take the whole pig. The farmer had found blood, but no carcasses. Hackett and his partners staked out the area the next night. Before long, they saw a big station wagon rolling down a little lane near the hog pens. 3 or 4 men got out. The officers used night lenses to watch the suspects walk down the lane toward the hog pens. Then the commotion started. They were running, Hackett remembers, and the hogs were running. Then one of the guys pulled out a .22 caliber rifle and popped one of the hogs. He shot again and the hog went down. Well, we backed off at that point, knowing they would have come to back the lane with the hog they had shot. So we're sitting there waiting for them to get onto the highway so we could stop them. Sure enough, they came zipping down. We pulled them over. The 2 officers approached the vehicle and peered inside, expecting to catch the rustlers red-handed, but all they saw were 2 men in the front seat, 3 men in the back, and no sign of a recently deceased hog. One of the officers peered into the rear of the station wagon. Nothing but an old seat, he said. Then they looked more closely and realized it was the back seat of the station wagon. The officers asked the men in the back seat to get out. Now, it didn't look too bad, Hackett says. There was a seat cover over what appeared to be the back seat. One of the guys reached in and pulled off the cover. It wasn't a seat at all. It was a very large, very dead hog. We don't know how they did it, how they got that hog into the back seat. It must have weighed 500 pounds. But that's not the end of our little pigtail. Later on, we got a search warrant to go back to the house where one of these guys lived, and we found a small... Later on, we got a search warrant to go back to the house where one of these guys lived, and we found a small live pig this guy had previously taken. We kept her for evidence, and one of our officers took her home to keep for the trial. By the time the trial came around, however, the officer had grown quite fond of the pig. He even had her paper trained. The evidence remained at the officer's house home as a pet until she weighed about 400 pounds. Then she moved to a local farm. Presumably, she never had to serve double duty as the back seat of a station wagon.